We mix journalism and communication. So as a graduate, you can move seamlessly between the two. Maybe you start off as a reporter and you move into a communications consultancy, maybe vice versa. But we're giving you the hard technical skills to be able to excel in both fields. 1-year program. You've got to have a degree to get in. You've got to have a 4-year degree to get in, and you're learning all these key technical skills in 1 year. You're career ready, you're workforce ready to go change the world and make some money. We've got a small program. We've got 30 students in our program. You'll know your professors on a first name basis. You'll bond with other students. We have a lot of cool social events, and you're getting hands-on instruction on how to use the cameras, how to edit, how to interview. You'll know everybody who you're working with. We stay current. All of us are still in the game. I'm still a senior writer at CBC. My colleagues Jeremy and Aaron are both at the top of their field in communications and journalism. And we do standard graduate research, but this is about hands-on stuff, and we're training you with the latest technology. And we combined practical work that I've talked about with the critical thinking skills of a graduate program. You're learning everything. You're coming out of this as a one-stop shop to be a media dynamo. Podcasting, social media, corporate communications, shooting, editing, investigative journalism. The era where you could go into a communications firm and just know how to do one thing, just be a writer, just be an editor, that's kind of over. Same within journalism. You've got to be able to do it all. You get a guaranteed internship with some of the biggest names in the business. I've just sent out to our current students opportunities at the Globe and Mail and the CBC. These can be national, international, or local. And a lot of students will just get hired right out of the program. They'll get snapped up. And that's what we really encourage. So a little bit about some of us who are here. So my name's Chris. I'm the program chair. I'm a reporter first and an academic second. I've spent most of my life as a foreign correspondent. A lot of our graduates, or some of our graduates, will go on to do that, to be able to travel internationally. I've had staff postings in Rome, Rio, Toronto, and Qatar. And I do some of our journalism print skills, investigative reporting, document work, and some stuff on environmental reporting. I just want to be able to have some members of our faculty team introduce themselves as well. So I will welcome Erin to come up and say hi. Erin is our communications guru, and she excels on the comm side. She's a bit under the weather today, so don't mind that.
My name is Erin Isings. I teach in the communications portfolio for our program, both Introduction to Communications in the fall, and then I teach Advanced Communications and Corporate Communications in the wintertime. You know, one thing I want you to think about is when you hear the term communications, we also, we think about what does that mean? And in the context of this program, it means public relations, it means corporate communications, content creations, it means digital marketing. My background is in corporate communications and digital marketing, and I've stayed pretty connected to the industry, and so I try to bring those practical aspects of the industry into class every day.
Thanks. See if I can avoid getting sick while using this microphone. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today, and thanks, Chris, for introducing us. My background is in journalism. I worked for about 15 years for some of the biggest news organizations around the world, including CBC, BBC, and Al Jazeera English. And like Chris, moved around a fair bit. Halifax, Vancouver, Toronto, the other London, the one over in England, India, and Washington, D.C., and Baghdad as well. And I teach Intro to Journalism in the program. and audio and visual storytelling skills in the first semester. And in the second semester, I teach a course called Shoot for the Heart, which is basically a course about advanced video. So I'm a video storyteller, and that's sort of my focus, and that's what I focus on teaching the program and trying to inspire our students to tell great video stories on any platform. You don't need that.
You can tell Jeremy's the handsome TV one, and I'm the one who they keep locked in the dark basement as a writer. But this is about storytelling. Both of these fields, communication and journalism, the core skill you're learning is how to tell a story. And that's what we're doing here, whether that's a story for a corporate client or a story about what happened last night with the election of Donald Trump. That's what we do. Narratives, interviews, data, and weaving together a compelling yarn. That's what you really fundamentally learn. Is this what you want to do, and are you a good fit for us? Let's drill into that. So 3 semesters, intensive 1-year program. The fall semester, everybody takes these courses together, and you're learning the basics of audio and video telling, storytelling, the basics of social media content creation and editing. We've got a theory course on doing democracy in terms of journalism and communications ethics and the public's right to know, with a basic introduction to investigative work, which I teach, and audio and video storytelling skills. So you don't need to have any experience with editing, with shooting video, with audio before you come in. That's why part of why we're here, we train you on that. Semester 2 in the winter, you have more choice of what you pick. So everybody does information and media law, you need to know those backgrounds, and then you can choose to do the newsroom with myself, or advanced communications with Aaron, or potentially both, if you're not really sure which way you want to go. My newsroom course is you're in the classroom, but you're in the field more. You're at city council, you'll be at the courthouse, you'll be going through documents, and you'll be out actually interviewing people. And you're going to come out of this program with a portfolio of work that you can show employers. And then we've got work on web design. We've got an amazing faculty member joining us as our new ASPR chair for the winter semester, who's been the Associated Press's bureau chief in Pakistan and Afghanistan to teach a course on how to be an international reporter. So a bunch of different options there of what you can choose. In the summer, you do your internship. Now, these are a minimum of 4 weeks and a maximum of longer, depending on the internship you get. And we work with you on getting those. You've got faculty to help you work on your resume, your cover letter, your networking, your applications. And we want you to get an internship. This is a key part of the program that really suits you, and then hopefully you get hired on after, which a lot of our graduates do. We have a new course, Business Essentials. This is how do you do your taxes if you're a freelance content creator? If you want to be an independent communications consultant, how do you brand yourself? These kinds of skills. To succeed in this industry today, as it's changing, everybody needs to have a bit of an entrepreneurial mindset, and this gets into the nitty-gritty of how to do that. And then we have an elective option. Currently, we're planning for either podcasting or copy editing. These are some of the places where students have gone for their internships. We work with you on this. You've got a lot of support, and in 30 years or more of running this program, every student has always gotten an internship. So some in our comms fields go to things like hospitals, universities, big companies like Bell Media, nonprofits, human rights commissions. You can choose where you want to go, and we'll help you get there. Do you want to be in a glass tower in downtown Toronto making big monies, or do you want to be in a small nonprofit in London helping out the homeless? We give you the skills, and we help you get where you want to go. Journalism, again, some of the biggest names in the business, the Canadian Press, different elements of CBC, the London Free Press, National Post, pretty much every Canadian media outlet we have a relationship with, and plenty of international ones. So if you might want to do social media or content creation for a diplomatic mission, we've had students go there, to foreign bureaus of Canadian organizations, to NGOs and nonprofits like the WHE initiative, and to places like Al Jazeera. We work with you on getting these. So we have all the cameras, all the kit. You don't need to bring any of that. You don't need to come with anything. We teach you how to use it, and you're getting real-world experience in that. We have class time. We learn the fundamentals, but you're out in the field for your assignments. Social media is a place where a lot of our students are getting jobs. We're obviously active on it, and that's a big part of how the industry's changed. So if you are addicted to your phone and watching TikToks or scrolling on Instagram, and you want to actually be able to use those skills to get a job, this is a great place to be. I want to introduce a couple of our current students to talk about what they are getting out of the program and anything that they might have wished they had known before they applied, now that they're in the thick of it. So welcome, Jillian.
Oh, just off to a good start. Hello, everyone. My name is Jillian. As it says up there, I did my background in communications at the University of Ottawa. A little bit about why I chose MMJC. My undergrad was very heavy into theory, so it was a lot of big papers, learning lots of different concepts. And I really enjoyed what I was studying, but after graduation, I really just felt like I didn't have as much experience as I wanted to be entering the workforce. I felt like I might be lacking some technical skills. So I thought a master's is the way to go, but I knew I was looking to do a course-based master's, which are honestly few and far between for this field. So I had a friend who was in MMJC, so I had my eye on the program, and then she was able to sort of vouch for it and give her positive experience, and I knew that's where I wanted to apply. So here I am. A typical day in MMJC, we have class every single day this week, so you go to class. It's a very social, very communal program. You are always with your cohort every day of the week, so you make lots of great friends, and that happens very quickly, which is nice. There's really a great sense of community here. We have a beautiful facility here, our edit suites, the broadcast studio here. We have access to the FIMS graduate library, which is a beautiful library. They have an outdoor terrace in the summer, or in the warmer months, so it's a great place to study. Very hands-on. It is a busy program, so that's one thing that maybe I wasn't, not necessarily unprepared for, but I just don't think I realized how busy it was going to be. But that is a good thing because it's really preparing you for the dynamic fields of journalism or communications, so it is a really great experience. Let's see, I had made some notes just so I didn't forget anything. Another thing I think I could suggest to people looking to apply, just in terms of the application process, is really take time to work on your autobiographical statement. That shouldn't just be a regurgitation of your resume. The committee really wants to see that you are able to tell a good story and be a storyteller, and it's sort of like a pitch of yourself. So really take the time to craft that and show those storytelling skills and sell yourself at the same time. And then another thing, if I can just give my advice if you're going to be in the program next year, the professors mentioned it in the very first week of class, but I think it's still something that I'm learning, is don't chase perfection in this program. It's very busy, and you're always going to be working on a lot of different assignments all together. And I think in my undergrad, I was a bit of a perfectionist, but here it just has to be good enough. Put in your best effort. This is a learning experience. So the most valuable thing is the feedback you're going to be getting from your professors. They're great at providing lots of that. So this is a learning experience. And even if you're doing an assignment, it might be you're doing it, this is like the first time you're actually putting it into practice. So it's not going to be perfect, and that is okay. Take what they give you in feedback and do better next time, and just add that to your toolkit for when you're out in the real world. But overall, having a great experience thus far, and you should apply.
Hi guys, my name is Willa Easton. I'm I am the other social media coordinator, and I'm very excited to speak to you all today. I'm a little bit nervous, but please bear with me. Let me know if you can't hear me. I did my undergrad in English and Cultural Studies, and I studied here at Western at the Huron affiliate. And one of the big questions I had coming into the program is, why English? What can I apply to the program? And I think what I looked into was the fact that I'm a good storyteller. I can read. I was interested in eco-criticism, and I was really interested in environmental media as well. And I thought, you know what, I'm a good storyteller. I can do this. One thing I would say if you are nervous about applying for the program is that even if you have a background that isn't in journalism or communications, don't worry, it isn't a fault. It actually gives you a bit of an edge because you have a different perspective. And I think as long as you can write, you're a strong storyteller, and you have something to say about the world, or you're interested about learning about the world, you're going to do great. The reason why I chose MMJC is because it's a multidisciplinary program. I really like the fact that you get hands-on experience. We have 24-hour access to studio standard equipment, and that's one thing that I was fascinated about. I'm really interested in docu-series and investigative journalism and multimedia as well. So the fact that we get to have access to this equipment, the fact that we have people helping us as well. We do workshops where we learn how to use the equipment and can be sent off onto campus to experiment with that is really amazing. Yeah, I think that one thing that is really exciting about this program as well is that it is only 1 year. Coming out of English, I felt like I was a professional student. I didn't have a lot of experience. So if you don't have experience in the real world yet, don't worry, you will get that in this program. We have professors that are top of the field, have lots of good experience, and they will teach you that and they will help you. I think one thing too about this program is learning not to be a perfectionist. Jeremy had a really good metaphor at the start of the program saying that if you look at this year as your life starting from crawling to walking, you are learning how to use everything. They're not expecting you to run, we're expecting you to crawl and walk and to get your stride. So if you are nervous, if you're scared, or if you just are trying to learn and looking forward to get into the real world, that's okay, and you will use skills from this program to get into that. I think my big thing after applying is that I am an English major. I was really used to writing in the academic format. I feel like I was primed to use MLA format and to write really heavily and to resource and cite and everything too. And you will use that same habits in journalism. You will have to research, and you will be you have to be a good storyteller, and you will be able to use that kind of mindset in this program. But you're also going to learn how to write professionally. And how to write in a journalism and a communications professional mindset as well. And I would say the biggest thing that I would take from my undergrad into this program is that I loved English and Cultural Studies. I loved reading the stories of the past, and now I'm very excited to take that and look into stories and avenues of the future. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Willa and Jessica. Really, yeah, good insights of how it actually works. I'll play this really quick. So what are we looking for in an applicant? Your past academic success. So we do want good marks, but you don't need to be a straight A student. Typically, if you've got less than a 70%, you're going to struggle to get in. But we normally aim at like a 78 is kind of where we would go for. But again, if you've had a couple of rough years in undergrad and you've got like a 75, write a compelling essay, get some good references, and there's a very good chance you would have a shot at it. What we really want to see is your ability to tell a story and your interest in doing this. Do you want to be a communications professional or a journalist? Show us that in your application. Applications are open now. They close on February 1. So if you're thinking about applying, I would start doing it now. Yeah, typically 78 and above, but final year of study counts a lot. Last year we had about 100 applications for 30 spaces. If your grades are lower, it's still worth applying. We're happy to talk one-on-one or to answer any emails you may have if this is you. Application essays and references are important for all students, especially those with lower grades. Interest and passion cannot be taught. That's crucial, so show us that. And I can say definitively every single one of our students today excel in those elements and having the passion, the interest. They all want to be here, and you'll be learning with other people who are taking this seriously and want to be learning the skills. It's a hard program, it's a fast program, but you're doing it with a team of fellow students who are in the exact same boat as you and all have a positive mentality. So if you're a bit lower, don't be shy about it. You never know who else is applying or who your competition is. It's still worth it, and all of us on the faculty team are happy to answer any questions that you may have in advance of applying. People are coming into this program, as Willa and Jessica mentioned, with a whole bunch of different disciplines. You got people from music, political science, humanities, a couple from hard sciences. We want your ability to tell a story and your passion. We've got a super active student council. We just had a big Halloween party. We've got people from all over the world and all over Canada. And as Jessica and Willa said, you form some tight bonds. If anybody wants to reach out to the student council, you're welcome to do so, get more insight on the student experience, or better yet, just ask some questions about that when we break in a second. So my name's Chris, I'm the chair. If you've got any issues about maybe wanting to apply but not sure, questions about what this program could do for you, about our background, I'm quick on email. Don't be shy to reach out. I'm on my phone more than I should be. So yeah, book a meeting, send a message, but we're here for you, whatever you may decide. So with that, I want to just thank everybody and get to the really interesting part of some questions. So thank you all.
Can you, in the personal statement, which elements are good for emphasis? The media portion, journalism experience, stuff like that.
Thanks, and thanks for repeating it. That's a super great question. So in your autobiographical statement that you're going to write, it's not. We really want to get a sense of who you are through storytelling. If you have some prior connection to media or to journalism, you can definitely mention that, but it's certainly not something that you necessarily need to exaggerate if it's not there already. The other thing I will say about the personal statement is please don't use AI. Everyone reviewing the admissions essay has that sense to know when something's AI, and it just feels really not authentic. And we really want to get a sense through that statement of who you are, what you think you could bring to the program. Like, why do you want to be here? Why do you want to do this? So there are lots of different answers to that. The other thing I was going to say, just to add on to what Chris was saying about grades and averages, one thing that our admission committee does that I don't know all admission committees do is we actually look closely at your transcript. So we have seen students who, in their final 2 years, are getting good grades in courses around, visual design, marketing, communications, writing, the courses where you would have more likely a crossover of transferable skills from those courses to this program. Then sometimes we see something like someone's taken a risk and they've decided to take actuarial sciences or the Earth Rocks program, which has a really great name. Those courses have less transferable skills, so if there's a lower grade in those courses that are bringing down the overall average, that's something that we consider. Okay.
And with the personal statements, just to add to that, I got this. With the personal statements to add to that, what we're looking for is literary flair. As Aaron said, definitely don't use AI, don't have typos, and show us you can craft a compelling yarn about yourself. But especially if your grades are a bit lower, we definitely factor that in for your writing style and give it a good edit. Don't be applying with a bunch of typos. Terrible luck. Yeah. Other questions?
My first question is just financial aid and how much tuition costs. And my second question is, when do you hear back from the program about when you get in or when you don't get in?
I can answer the first little bit of that, and Jeremy can answer more. Tuition is just over $17,000 for the full year, unless I'm mistaken on that. And we have, if you have demonstrated financial needs, we have bursaries. We have good bursaries. So I think there was a couple of students with high grades compelling statements, who had, maybe $11,000 to $12,000 in bursaries coming out of that. That won't be everybody. It's going to be dependent on the number of applications. I don't want to make a promise we can't keep, but that the aid does exist. We've got a couple of quite large bursaries at about $9,000 a piece, and then a bunch of smaller ones for less. But it's going to depend on who gets those, on who applies, the strength of the application, all of those things. In terms of hearing back, I'm going to pass that one to Mr. Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah, so your application deadline is February 1st, and we spend March, the admissions committee, looking at the applications, going through them, February, and then usually by the very first week of March, we send out the first round of offers. So you may hear from us first week of March. If you don't, it means you may still be on the wait list, and we'll let you know if you're on the wait list. And don't worry if you end up on the wait list. A lot of people who are on the wait list end up coming into the program and excelling in the program. We are very picky about and careful about who we allow into the program, and if you get even on the wait list, that you're only on the wait list because we know you're going to be able to thrive in this program. So if you end up being on the wait list, don't take that as a bad sign or discouraging sign. There's a good chance you're still getting to the program. So first week of March is usually when the first round of offers go out.
But yeah, we won't waitlist you to waste your time. It means that you have what it takes to do it. Thanks for that, Jeremy. Great questions. Other questions? Anything from online? Any folks on Zoom with questions? No? Okay. Well, we'll hang out for a bit if anybody wants to talk informally, but please, if you're debating applying, reach out, email any of us. We're all around. And whatever you decide, thank you for coming out and checking out our studio. So nice to connect with you all.